Ninja, please.
So what's up, you guys? You guys are with your boy Flame Reviewer 952, and pretty much this is my review of the first 2 episodes of the new Fear Factor series. And I pretty much was just so ecstatic about this because I love Fear Factor. I remember watching that every night when that was on, and then 5 years period that they have, and then now they're back. I was ready. Pretty much I just got finished watching the 2 episodes of Fear Factor, so I figured I'd just put them on there. Let's just start off with the first one. And so you still got your same host, Joe Rogan. I guess the first episode was like Team Family, because you had 4 different teams, and it was you had the son and the father, you had the brother and the sister, you had the boy and his mom, and you had the 2 blondies that I guess were sister or sister mother. They could look either one. And my team instantly was the son and the father, because they were the only team that did not say shit about the other team. Every other team had something to say about the other team. They were so cocky and arrogant, and I hated it. Those were the only 2 people that were not. They were obviously the chillest of them all, and I instantly voted for them. And so the first task that they had to do is they had to get flown from this helicopter, land on this pad, and then lift off this crate, start the lever, get on the back of a car, and start taking the flags out of the barrels before they run into an exploding wall. And so pretty much they all did that. One team lost, and then the second thing they had to do was one person had to dive. One of the partners had to dive in this black sludge, pull out this jar, take off the screws, and pretty much dump out the scorpions. And each of the people had to eat 5 scorpions each. That was fun, and so it was really funny. That was the part that made me laugh the most, because each team had the same but although a different reaction. The son and the father team, they just started and then the one guy was just oh, peanut butter, oh sweet peanut butter, and the son was just he was having a tough time eating this, and that's when I just started losing it so horribly. And then the next team goes up, you see the mom. You see the mom go and eat this, and she's just doing the same thing, she's they each had a hard time doing this. And so that was the part that really made me laugh. And then another team got kicked off, and then the one team I hated the most was the brother and the sister. And I just hated it because she's we're younger and they're older, so that means we're better. I was just oh God, we're such a horrible generation, and made me pissed off. And then the ending was the most badass, because they each had to dress up in these accelerator suits, the semi-truck, and then they had to stay in front of it. And so it was pushing them, and what they had to do was there were these crates, obstacles in the way, and they had flags on it, so they had to grab the flags, smash into the boxes, and do that to get enough flags. And that was insane. It was it was Transformers. You know when Bumblebee's on the back of that car and he's rolling them up to shoot off the zombies? Yeah, it was kind of like that, except it was on the front of the semi. Like that, it was awesome. And that was the most happy. Another team won, but yeah. So that was the first episode. Second episode, you got the same thing, except it was Team X's. So it was very interesting. My first team I picked out was biker people, because they were the most bitchin' people ever. The second act, and this one bitchy person was talking. She's God, just shut her up, let's get this over with. And I was I love you. And so I voted for them straight off, right before I met them. And so like I said, so you had the biker gang, you had Team Twilight, they literally looked like Twilight members. I am not even kidding you. You had the womanizer and the playboy, and then you just had I felt so bad for the white guy, but you had the guy that is just being controlled by the woman. Pretty much the first thing that they had to do was they had to drive in this car, smash through a wall, land in a pool, unplug the little mechanics to get at the flag, swim over to the pool, and go time up. And pretty much the one womanizer the womanizer and the Playboy, he just they were swimming out, and apparently the Playboy couldn't swim, and so he's just like, okay, see you later, and just started going off without her, and they got disqualified, and that was pretty much the team that lost in the first round. The second round was very interesting because they had to the second round they had to dive and they had to swim in cow's blood. They were handcuffed to each other, so they could only use one arm. What they would do is they go underneath, get a cow's blood, put it in the other person's mouth. They had to lean over and throw the cow chunk in a little bucket at the bottom. That was very hot. And so that was another one of the rounds. Pretty much another team got eliminated. So my favorite group was still in there, and then another team, I don't want to ruin it. And then after that, now this one was very complex because I even heard it the first time, and I was like, you have me lost here. Pretty much what they had to do is they were inside of a bus. They had to climb up on top of the bus, get hooked onto a helicopter, fly over, land in the back of a speedboat, grab keys, jump off the speedboat, swim to a net with a backpack in it with the helicopter swirling, so of course you had this wind of water flying in your face, and they had to swim up, grab up the rope, go up, get in the backpack, and then as the helicopter's flying you over, unlock the backpack and get the flares. There are 3 flares in it, and there was this little platform with explosives, and so they had to chuck the flares and explode, and that's how they did it. Well, the first team that went up there, they after doing that, they were so exhausted that they ended up one of them, I think, blacked out, and they had to call medics, and so that was a big deal. And the other team went up and they just kicked ass. They won, and I was happy. So overall, combining the 2 episodes, they brought the series back. It was enthralling. It was very, very suspenseful, and I loved it. This is what I loved about the Fear Factor. They brought everything back. I was happy. And I will continue watching this again because this is just epic. They brought it back, you guys. Thank you. Yes. So stay tuned for the next one. It's should be shown probably Monday again next week. And yeah, so this is my review of the first 2 episodes of Fear Factor. And you guys are with your boy Film Reviewer 952. Cue the intro.
Film Reviewer 952. Subscribe rock good.